Hi everyone, this is Mr Neel Raithatha, also known as the Wax Whisperer. Thank you for joining me in my latest video. This is of a patient who attended with bilateral, very blocked wax plugs, which had been further impacted by the patient using Q-tips or cotton swabs, or what we call in the UK cotton buds. And you may have just seen the imprint of the cotton bud at the beginning as we commenced in the wax. So this wax plug is enveloped by a layer of dead skin, and this skin is also attached itself to the ear canal wall. So we're just trying to manipulate the dead skin all the way around. And in a moment, I'm going to just use some olive oil just to help lubricate and loosen the oil to help facilitate the extraction. Some of you may already be aware that I have got a second YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description. And on that channel, just uploading more videos taken with our second device that we've developed called the Waxscape, and I've uploaded a few over the last few days, so feel free to tune into that as well. So this is the moment I put some olive oil spray in. And this just helps loosen the skin a bit, and just going up and down. See that layer of skin, that white, thick layer, it's quite dense. It really has attached itself to the wax here. I'm just manipulating the suction probe up and down, and as I am, I'm trying to come away as well from the ear to extract the plug, and we just managed to remove a large significant piece there. So going back in. So you can see that this wax plug is almost housed within the skin that's lining the ear canal. And you may just see the eardrum there in the distance, the blue tinge on the right hand side of the screen. So I'm just using the suction probe to detach the front part of the wax plug from the ear canal wall. And as I am, again, I'm just coming away. And once more, there's quite a significant piece of wax and skin that I removed there. If you watch till the end, I will be putting up some still images. Now, the patient has got an attic retraction, so the top part of the eardrum, I'm going to circle it in a moment. You will hopefully see it. I'm just going to be clearing some of this dead skin first. And they also had a deeper retraction pocket in their left ear. So if you stay tuned, I'm going to circle that for you as well, so you can see. So I'm just using the fine end suction probe. I'm just trying to peel away some of this dead skin. Now there was, I managed to remove the bulk of the dead skin from here, but on their right side, again I did manage to remove a lot of skin, but it began to clarinet. So clarinetting can occur with dead skin. When you're peeling dead skin or suctioning dead skin, the skin violently flaps, because you can see how strongly adhered that is to the canal wall, and it flaps at the tip of the suction probe, and that causes and emits a very loud high frequency squeal. We call that clarinetting, and it can be quite deafening actually. So you can see where I've just circled, that's the attic retraction. That's where the eardrum sucked in, and on the back part of the eardrum you can see some tympanosclerosis, some scar tissue there. So what is a retraction pocket? So as you continue to watch, I'll just explain. Behind the eardrum we have what we call the middle ear. So it's a cavity located behind the eardrum, and the middle ear should be full of air, should be air-filled, and the air pressure behind the eardrum, so in the middle ear, should be equivalent to the air pressure in the atmosphere. And when the air pressure is equal either side of the eardrum, that's when our eardrum is most mobile, and therefore that's when we hear the best. So when sound hits the eardrum, that's when it vibrates the most. So what regulates the air pressure is a tube called the eustachian tube, which connects the middle ear to the back of the nose, the nasopharynx. And that eustachian tube is typically closed, but during the course of the day, when we swallow, yawn, chew, this eustachian tube momentarily opens and the air pressure can equalise itself. And the eustachian tube is also a drain pipe, so we have secretions, because the skin that lines the middle ear is the mucosa, and the mucosa is the same kind of skin that lines the inside of our nose and inside of our mouth. So it's secretory, it secretes fluid, and the eustachian tube allows the fluid to drain out of the middle ear to the back of the nose, because we don't want any fluid in there, we want it to be airful. So if that eustachian tube is blocked, it can also lead to a buildup of fluid behind the eardrum. Now, so if that eustachian tube is blocked, and we call that eustachian tube dysfunction, so it could be, you could have a nasal congestion or just weak muscles that contract either side of the eustachian tube that cause it to open. There's a lack of air if the eustachian tube fails to open behind the eardrum in the middle ear, and all the remaining air in the middle ear gets sucked in by all the neighbouring cells in the middle ear, and that then creates a vacuum effect, like you're on a plane. The eardrum gets sucked in, and when it gets sucked in, the top part of the eardrum in particular, the pars flaccida, which is a thinner part of the eardrum, is prone to getting sucked in more, and it creates a pocket at the top. We call it a retraction pocket. And when you have a retraction pocket, and again you'll see that in a moment, so I managed to remove the wax. You can see it top left, and I am going to circle that in a moment, you will see, but that's quite a deep retraction pocket. And when you have a pocket like that, the skin that lines the ear canal and eardrum, as it dies and sheds, it moves sideways out of the ear like a conveyor belt. But when you've got a pocket like that, skin can get trapped in that pocket. And when the skin gets trapped in that pocket, thankfully in this patient the skin's not, it's managing to migrate out of the retraction. But if skin does get trapped in that pocket, it can form into a skin plug that can get infected. If the eardrum gets sucked in further, this skin plug can then grow inwards into the middle ear, and we call that a cholesteatoma. And it can also grow upwards towards the brain. And if untreated, a cholesteatoma can be almost life-threatening. It can cause meningitis, a brain abscess. So we're always going to be careful when you've got a retraction pocket, especially as deep as in this ear. We're just going to ensure there's no skin collecting there. And thankfully for this patient, it's that retraction pocket is clean, it's self-cleansing, and there's no skin being collected there. And you can see all the skin is actually migrating out. You can see it's coating the perimeter, and that's what I'm trying to remove. With this eardrum, it is quite scarred inferiorly as well. There's a lot of scar tissue. So that's calcium deposits. So we call it a calcification of the eardrum. It's normally, the scar tissue normally builds up in the middle membrane. So there's three membranes of the eardrum. The outermost membrane, the lateral layer, is made up of the same skin that lines the ear canal. The inner membrane, which I referred to earlier, is the mucosa. So that's a similar type of skin that lines the inside of the nose and the mouth. And then the middle membrane of the eardrum is made up of fibrous and connective tissue, and that's what gives the eardrum its strength. And when you have either trauma, so acoustic trauma or physical trauma or chronic ear infection, the middle layer of the eardrum, as part of the healing process, it can secrete calcium deposits, and you can develop into plaques. And we just call that tympanosclerosis, and it can sometimes lead to a hearing loss, not always, because it stiffens the eardrum. Now, we're getting some clarinetting there, so I'm going to leave that. We don't want to cause the patient any trauma. It's not going to cause the patient any issue, that skin. I've managed to peel the majority. We don't want to be silly and cause a temporary hearing loss or even a permanent hearing loss, trying to remove some skin, because that was really loudly clarinetting. We stopped immediately. That's all the remnants on both ears. The patient can hear significantly better. They were very happy. You can see we used the ear hook to good use as well in the patient's second ear, the right ear. And the patient has got some treatment for their eustachian tube, their blocked eustachian tube, so hopefully you should feel better soon. Well, thank you guys, take care, speak soon, bye.